So, starting my first slide, environmental justice is not just about protecting the planet, it is about protecting people. It is a moral issue grounded in human dignity, faith, and responsibility. As we face climate change and environmental destruction, our treatment of the earth directly impacts how we treat each other, especially the most vulnerable people, like the people that are hurt inside. In this video essay, I will reflect on my personal values, explain environmental justice as a social issue connected to Catholic social teaching and Catholic graduate expectations, address common misunderstanding, and describe how I am called to act as a Catholic graduate based on my experiences with the people around me and being in a Catholic school. The values that guide my life shape my understanding of justice and responsibility. The first value is faith. My relationship with God influences my actions, how I treat others, and my daily conduct. Prayer and trust in God's guidance help me stay grounded during challenges, reminding me to act with humility and compassion. My second value is respect. Growing up in an Ethiopian household rooted in Orthodox faith, I learned early that respecting elders is very important. Even my family and community is also essential. But then, like as a kid, I was like, my parents focused very much on like elderly, so like my grandparents, and like we have traditions and we respect them in a way. So respect goes beyond politeness. It involves recognizing the dignity of every person. This belief affects how I interact with others and how I understand social justice. My third value is discipline. Playing soccer has taught me the importance of consistency, hard work, and perseverance through discomfort. My fourth value is community. My church, family, and teammates remind me that I'm never alone and that growth occurs together. Finally, perseverance shapes how I handle challenges in school, faith, and sports. I turn to God, stand firm, and keep moving rather than giving up on what I want to pursue. The Catholic social teaching theme that resonates with me is human dignity. In Ethiopian culture and Orthodox Christianity, every person is believed that we were all created in God's image, and this belief directly connects to my values of faith, respect, and discipline, shaping how I view justice in the world. One Catholic graduate expectation I already embody is being a discerning believer. My faith shapes my decisions, behavior, and treatment of others. However, I want to grow as a responsible citizen by becoming more involved in my community, using my voice to support justice and fairness, and develop stronger habits in my academic life and also for other people growing. Environmental justice is a social justice issue that ensures all people are protected from environmental harm, regardless of race, income, or location. While environmental problems affect the entire planet, poor communities and communities of color suffer the most severe consequences despite contributing the least to environmental damage. Environmental injustice is closely linked to health, poverty, and human dignity. Climate change is one of the biggest challenges humanity faces today. Human activities, such as burning the fossil fuels, have raised the Earth's average temperature by about 1.1 degrees Celsius. This increase this increase has resulted in more intense storms, rising sea levels, droughts, and heat waves, all of which threaten human life and the environment. However, not everyone experiences these environmental impacts equally. Research shows that low income and racialized communities often live near highways, industrial plants, and waste signs, exposing them to higher levels of pollution. Consequently, these communities face higher rates of asthma, heart disease, and other health issues while having fewer resources to respond or recover. Environmental injustice also relates closely to economic inequality. Poor communities and developing nations often lack the infrastructure and resource needed to protect themselves from climate related disasters. Climate change worsens food insecurity, limits access to clean water, and raised health risks, pushing already vulnerable populations deeper into poverty and threatening their human dignity. Catholic social teachings provide a moral response to environmental injustice through care for creation. In Laudato Si, Pope Francis teaches us that Earth is God's gift to humanity and that we are responsible for protecting it, not exploiting it. He reminds us that the suffering of the earth is closely tied to the suffering of human beings, especially the poor. One key principle of Catholic social teaching is the preferential option for the poor. This principle urges Christians to prioritize the most affected by injustice. Poor individuals often face the worst impacts of environmental destruction, making environmental justice a moral obligation. Those with greater wealth and powers have a larger responsibility to reduce environmental harm and support other vulnerable communities. Pope Francis also emphasizes integral ecology, which refers that environmental, social, and economic issues are all interconnected. Caring for the environment cannot be separated from caring for people. When the environment suffers, human communities suffer as well, particularly those already marginalized. Both secular research and Catholic teachings agree that environmental injustice disproportionately affects the disadvantaged communities. While secular approach often focus on human rights, science, and public policy, Catholic teachings add a more and spiritual responsibility rooted in faith, stewardship, and solidarity. Despite their differences, both perspectives call for collective action to protect both the people and our planet. A common misunderstanding about Catholic social teaching is the belief that the church only cares about abortion while ignoring the other social issues. In reality, the church addresses a wide range of concerns, including poverty, environmental justice, peace, healthcare, immigration, and workers' rights. This also happens in my church as well. Catholic social teachings promote a consistent ethic of life, recognizing that all life is sacred and interconnected. As a Catholic graduate, I am called out to live my faith through action. This means getting involved in my community, caring for creation, advocating for environmental justice, and building responsible habits in my daily life. Protecting the earth is not separate from loving my neighbor. It is one ways I express my faith. To conclude, environmental justice challenges to combine scientific understanding with moral responsibility. By living according to my values of faith, respect, discipline, community, and perseverance, I commit to protecting human dignity and caring for our common home. Thank you.